Hey guys, it's your girl Marielle. Welcome back to my channel, Friday Night Lights Reviews, where we do reactions and reviews to TV shows, movies, and other digital content. So you guys, you already know what I'm going to say. So go ahead and click that like, comment, and subscribe button. Follow me on my other social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Those links will be in the description bar below. To all of my new subscribers, hey guys, my new ones, you guys rock. And if you just so happen to click on this video and you're already here, won't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button? And also go ahead and don't forget to share this video. So let's just get right into it. So today we're going to be reacting to Those Who Wish Me Dead, starring Angelina Jolie, that premiered on HBO Max. The movie is based on the book by the same name, written by Michael Kurta. I think I'm saying his name correctly. If I'm not, I do apologize. I'm not great with names. So it also stars Nicholas Hoult, John Barenthal, Aidan Glenn, and Tyler Perry. So let's just get right into the plot. Also, the movie is directed by Taylor Sheridan, who is known for Sicario, Yellowstone, and Wind River. So, and Without Remorse, just another recent movie that he has done. So the plot is Hannah, who was played by Angelina Jolie, is still grieving the loss of 3 lives of a wildfire in Montana. She's a smoke jumper. She's now in the watchtower in the Montana wilderness, where she encounters a little boy named Connor, who she finds bloodied and pretty much helps him right out the gate because, you know, she is a public servant. So let's just get right into it, right? So it's great to see Angelina Jolie step back into the movie shoes. I love watching her in movies. She's always a rock star no matter what she does, and always pretty dope and pushes the envelope with action-packed movies. So that right out the gate was nice to see. She's also going to be in Marvel's Eternals. I can't wait to see that as well. So right within the beginning of the movie, we definitely get the storylines. There's 2 split up into one. The first one, like I said, we see Hannah reliving all of that trauma she had watching those 3 little boys die in the forest fire. She was told to stand down, but she internally feels like she was a coward and she could have done something better and tried to save those little boys. So that's her battle, that's her scar, and it's very fresh because it just recently happened. And everybody's kind of worried about her. There's the sheriff that is also, who was her ex, who's also worried about her. So she does those risk-taking things that most people who were feeling like their life is not worth anything because they couldn't save anybody else, right? So that's like the first part of the movie, which I would say is great because, you know, we all love anything that gives us that plot, that explanation right out the gate. The second story is we see 2 hired assassins named Jack and Patrick, played by Nicholas Hoult and Aidan Glenn. We see them go to this house. We don't know whose house it is. All we know is that they pretend to be these fire chiefs or someone with the city. They leave, and this house does this huge freaking explosion and looks like a bomb was dropped on this person's house. It was amazing. So right out there, right out the gate, I'm like, okay, this is definitely going to be filled with action. Even with seeing what happens to those 3 little boys in the wildfire. I don't know why I can't say that. And then with the house blowing up. Here comes the second part where we meet Connor and his father, played by John Barenthal. His name is Ethan, I believe. I could be wrong. But we meet him. He hears about it on the news. He freaks out. He gets his son. He tells his son that they're going to be playing hooky. And that's how that story goes. The hired assassins were pretty cool because they go into the house and they pretty much find out where Connor and his father are going just off of a picture. And they know it going into the wilderness, so they set their sights on that. So that's what we see right then and there. We knew what was going to happen to the dad because we saw it in the trailer. So those different things in the movie was definitely predictable, but there's also that buildup. And now for me, I don't mind predictable things as long as that suspense and that buildup is so great and it's not filled with dead air and boring storylines, but something really good so we can see and can't wait for that thing that happens next. That really didn't happen too much throughout this movie. I mean, 31 minutes in, that's when we get our second bit of action, where we see Jack and Patrick sitting on the road waiting for Connor and his father to come. They shoot up the car. Before they do all that, Connor's father does clip one of the guys. They go over the guardrail into this embankment. Kicking my butt. And this is where we see the bit of emotion in this movie, because we know Connor's father is about to die. He gives him the paper that he's supposed to give the news media, and he tells him, get out of here. Don't stop running. Get to a creek, because a creek leads to the river, and the river leads to town people, so you'll be safe. And we see that little disconnection and that crying, and Connor kind of being mad at his dad making him leave, and he does. Now, in between the rest of this, I mean, there are other characters. There are other little bit storylines. We know that Connor's father is the brother-in-law to Ethan, who is the sheriff. And he's like, I need you to do me a favor. We're coming. I need you to protect my son and get the media to the resort. But other than that, you don't really care about the rest of the plot, because it doesn't stick out. I mean, it was so slow. The action was like in spurts here and there. And that was super duper shocking for me, coming from Taylor Sheridan, because Sicario alone was great. Yellowstone, I mean, look, Without Remorse was amazing. So I was really shocked that the storyline was so flat. It just not something that could keep your attention. I will say the Higher Assassins kind of sucked. I mean, they were great with the blowing up the house, but getting Connor and his father, but like my husband says, if they were so great, we wouldn't have a movie. And I agree. So next we see the side note, which is where we are introduced to Tyler Perry's character. I don't know what his name is. It was a pointless scene to me. He kind of did that whole bad guy, you're my lackey, do what you got to do. And it wasn't there for me. And another thing, we know that the father was a forensics accountant, but we never find out what he knew, what he had that warranted him and his son to be hunted down and killed. We don't find out, and that kind of sucks. Here comes the breakout part of the action part. So Jack and Patrick get to the sheriff's house. They encounter the sheriff's wife, who is this beautiful black woman. And she already knew that they were suspects. She already knew that they was sus. So she tried to keep them out of the house. They have a little fighting scene. Shorty was just definitely not with the shit. She was like, miss me with it. They thought they could overpower her. She ended up burning one brother, maiming the other one. She got out of there, was shooting people with the freaking rifle. She was awesome. Like, she was like the best part of the movie. That's what I think. She was just the best part of that movie. Now, we do see the forest scene where they light everything on fire, where we also see the lightning striking down. I thought that was pretty amazing. Will I say it was thrilling and everything? I just thought it was super cool. There's a lot of back and forth in this movie, and it wasn't very worthy. You know, it wasn't anything fantastic except a little part of the back and forth with Ethan, Jack, and Patrick, where he was like, look, I'm not going to lead you to the boy. I'm not going to lead you to my wife, so you might as well go ahead and kill me. We thought something was going to go on, and it fell flat. He ended up getting his butt whooped and ended up being a tracker anyway. So, whatever. And then it goes back and forth to these scenes with Hannah and Connor. We know that they're going to build this great relationship because she's like, you're a little boy. This is what happened. And Connor's like, my mother died of cancer. My father's dead. What was, like, get over yourself. So they have that cool little mothering kind of moment with each other. Again, it wasn't, not much to say about it. And then we jump again to another action scene where the sheriff leads them to the tower. They go back up into the trees to try to kill anybody. Here comes the sheriff's wife, 6 months pregnant, riding a horse, carrying a rifle. Shorty sees them, hides behind this tree, and she just start bucking off shots. And she's good, guys. She is good. I will say she was the best part of this movie. She was the breakout in this movie. That was that breakout for me. Everybody else was whatever. Then we get to where Jack is in the forest with Angelina Jolie and Connor. She tells Connor to run and find the water, lay down in it, because the forest is literally completely engulfed with fire. She gets her ass beat. She don't care. He laughing at her. She's laughing at him. Connor's like, I gotta protect her. She protected me. We all know what's gonna happen next. He leaves her alone, tries to kill Connor. He straight gets cut up. Angelina Jolie just comes at him with an axe, a fire axe. Connor's like, what's gonna happen? She's basically was like, the fire's gonna eat his ass. And that's what happened. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much what happens through the whole movie. Can't speak on any other scenes because they wasn't worthy of speaking of, except the sheriff's wife. She was kicking ass in there. We still never know what the father was killed for. We don't see a media thing. We saw that the sheriff died. That was that. Angelina Jolie gives this little staring back and forth with Connor, and then the credits. It was not good. Except the sheriff's wife. She was bombing that. So out of 5 stars, I gotta give it a 3.5. And I'm giving it a 3.5 because the sheriff's wife, and I do apologize that I don't know the actress name, her role in this movie made it for me. That's why I kept watching to the end. And Connor, he was super cute and drew that emotional part out of you because you never want to see a little kid cry. But other than that, the scenes were pretty boring and pretty dull. Nothing worth mentioning, which is a really shocker for a Taylor Sheridan movie. I would have expected so much more from him just off of his resume, and it just really fell flat for me. So, I mean, I would say, is it worth going to the movies and buying a ticket for it? Absolutely not. If you have HBO Max, go ahead and watch the movie. Tell me what you think. Leave me those comments in the comment section below. And that's it for me, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell and share the video. And as always, be safe, be courageous, and I will see you guys in the next one.